and as part of the minister's team and on many, many important projects. So welcome to the DMA forum for the first time.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure coming out of government office and back to be with my fellow colleagues or the advertisers and marketeers. I absolutely love it. Sitting in the everyday room and discussing that how this technology is going to help them and hitting head again and again, it has been really boring. But this is very interesting. The kind of work a lot of you are doing. So what are we doing at our end? Specific about railways, we carry almost millions of passengers every day from one end to another. It's a responsibility on us that we have to be very safe and secure about them. The kind of legacy we have inherited from our previous government of not having a good infrastructure, no good facility, was taking a toll on us. Bad maintenance, negative news, and here we came after 3.5 years and joined the Ministry of Railways before a couple of years back. So one of the first tasks was to bring back the nostalgic memories of traveling into railways and having from customer satisfaction to joy to delight. That's a slow ladder we have to walk every day. How to bring that back? We started slow. We said let's go back to the basic instead of talking about the dynamics of the world. Let's go back to the basic and get things sorted. There were days when the website of railways didn't used to work. It used to crash every other day. Now we hardly even hear about it. That's the change we have brought. That you don't need to go back to an agent. You can actually go into IRCTC website or an application and book your website with the highest peak of times. There are several modes wherein it's only open for agents, it's not open for normal citizens. So it helps everyone to carry on the business. So first, our website and app, they're working. We've revamped the UI and UX and what you call as a customer experience. It's very smooth. And I welcome if anyone has any kind of feedback to be given, please do share it with me. Please use the app on iOS and Android platform. Another thing, a lot of applications in government, they were majorly on Android platforms or they were only web portals to it. We said that it must be present everywhere. So we brought the iOS we brought it on iOS. Next, the biggest challenge we had in front of us. So somebody at the start, I think Krishnan was talking about inverting the pyramid. So from boardrooms, we actually went on to platforms and understood what our customers or the actual commuters, what are they facing as problem. One of the biggest challenges they had, so like in a suburban city like Mumbai, wherein they have local trains, if anybody has commuted through local train, they will understand the pain, is getting the ticket at the peak hour. We said, if we can do ticket reservation for regular day-to-day tickets, we can also do it for unreserved tickets at suburban stations. And we brought it. It has reduced at least 60 to 70% of the traffic at the ticket platforms. And that's a whole lot of convenience for anyone at Mumbai. Similarly, another challenge, everyone trying to find out that where they can find someone to get your ticket confirmed. If I know someone into Ministry of Railways or someone into DRM or a station, please your ticket book confirm karwa do. So this has been a huge problem. And we said, why not to offer technology wherein we can actually give a probability of in percentage number through a lot of data analytics and artificial intelligence that what is the probability of your ticket getting confirmed. Anytime a customer looks at it for the first time that okay, it's an 80% probability that my ticket is going to be confirmed, I don't need to worry. If it's less than 30%, better not to book it and think about another mode of transport or maybe another train. So small changes making big difference into lives of millions. That's what our focus is. Whatever we are doing is with the 3S, skill, speed and scale. Whatever skills we have, can we bring the speed, can we bring the velocity inside and the massive scale we are delivering to. One thing which we have done earlier as an experience when we were earlier into Ministry of Power with the same Honorable Minister, we said that so power cuts was a huge problem in India. Even a city like Delhi sometimes faces power cut. it's a huge issue, and to communicate to people that it's not only the fault of central government, it's also about the states. It's lot of stakeholders are involved in it. It's very tough. So rather than getting into mess, we said, what's the solution to it? Can we pre-inform our customers that, okay, there will be a power cut into this amount of time? If they allow us to send a notification, we will send them an SMS. As simple as that. We're trying to implement the same stuff for railways, that if there is a train delay, or if your train is going to be cancelled by any bad chance, then we might inform you. If your train is delayed while you're still in the journey and you might get down at an early morning, let's give you again an SMS. But okay, this is the time you might get dropped at your location. So if a woman, for us, women's safety and medical health is the most important priorities we do when it comes for customers' grievances. One more example, and this was started in, I think, 2015-16 time. A lot of, so of course, with this big setup and transmuting this many amount of commuters every day, there has to be some or other issue at one place. There might not be an AC working somewhere, there might be some issue with the cleanliness. So we said, why not to have a direct conversation with audience? And we started the social media grievances. Anyone tweeting to the minister or the railways, or now we have a dedicated Twitter handle to it, will get a reply back. And I'm glad to say, with all the automation we are doing these days, the turnaround time, at least the first average response time, it was earlier around 40 to 50 minutes, it has come down to around 20 to 25 minutes. And we are resolving a query into less than an hour. So imagine someone as a patient is stuck in Chhapra. I don't know how many of you even know where it's located. It's an ant part. And it's like a Jumri Talaya of the world. And you're situated there, you're facing a medical trouble, and one tweet where there's hardly any possibility of having a doctor over there, and in half an hour you get a medical team serving to you and saving the life. And this is the real story, my friends. This is the real story. And every day we have such stories, and we communicate it back to the people that, okay, whatever your tax is, you're paying it to us, we're making the ample and the best and optimal use of it. And we are here to serve you, we are here to serve you long. Apart from this, the one thing which I think it's the basis of any kind of marketing is to openly listen. With social media and everyday usage about listening platforms, we are happy to hear all the compliments, criticism, and comments about your travel journey, about the experiences our commuters are having every day. From those, I will say, the noises which we get, we filter out whatever is useful to us and what is actionable for us. When I say it actionable, actionable means can we sort it out in a couple of days or weeks? And if it is not, then it automatically gets filters and it's a policy decision, or it will take more than 7 days. With this kind of an automation, we get unresolved queries and we send it to a separate research team which takes care for it. Another simple thing, so a lot of people will be really worried that when their parents travel alone, or if they are senior citizens who are traveling into train. So train used to allocate seats automatically. It may be upper berth, it may be lower berth, it may be anything. There was a long time issue about citizens, senior citizens not getting the right berth. We tweaked the algorithm and we made it compulsory for the ticketing platform to give the tickets directly to the senior citizens on the lower berth. The same senior citizens, now how it impacts, when you give something open-heartedly to your consumers, how your consumers give it back. We ran a campaign, so senior citizens used to get 50% concession. We ran a campaign that you're also an equal citizen of this country, would you like to give it up? And they said yes. Every day the number is growing phenomenally, it's rising exponentially, wherein senior citizens are saying we don't want concession, we are a part of the system, we want to pay taxes, and if we are taking the equal seat, we want to take the equal amount, we want to pay equal amount of money. And that's phenomenal. So I think marketing automation, it's not just about behaving like a robot or a chatbot. I think it's about communicating with them, talking with them, delivering what they want, delivering what is they need, and they come back to you. Conversion rate goes high. They come back to you. The idea about all of this is to bring back those good moments and memories which one can cherish for lifetime while traveling into railways. I think that's all. If I would love to, if you have any kind of queries about what are the next things we are doing. One thing interesting is I remember is, so whenever things come about technology, people say, okay, we'll add technology over here, we'll add up a dynamic page, we'll do on-page optimization. At, and how this government works, we think, okay, can we have an IoT fix into a bar toilet, which measures actually that, okay, what does it need the cleaning? If yes, then let's clean it up. So we're working towards it, and hopefully, maybe in a couple of months, you might see such kind of toilets working into railways. And it also informing back that, okay, your toilet is clean, you can go there. So this is the kind of scenario we're trying to bring and take it forward. Yeah, please.
No, I just wanted to make a comment that the new website, the revamped website, is very good. So I had that experience of the old website where you really have to search where you have to book the ticket because there were so many ads. But now it looks very simple, and congratulations on that. Thank you.
Thanks.
Zankrut, I have Puneet here. I have a comment and I have a question for you. Of course, I've known you before, so I use this platform to ask you a direct question, which I wouldn't have asked otherwise. First of all, sharing the information about probability of confirmation with not only IRCTC but other platforms is a great idea. So whenever I go to book a ticket, it tells me this particular train, you're likely to get 85% confirmation. That's fabulous. And it's sharing it with all OTTs is a great idea. Question for you is, Railways is a very complex organization, largest employer globally in the world, I believe.
Yes.
Indian Railways. How do you percolate this change? Because your multiple, Railways is not one organization, but 6 or 7 zones coming together?
17.
17, sorry. And then in that case, how do you get the DMs to respond? What sort of training? Because we all struggle with change internally in our companies. If you're willing to share that, perhaps that'll be mightily useful. Because how do you make sure that everybody is responsive? Top down is one, but what are the steps you have taken?
So the solution is very simple. I think we have kept our basics very clear that we need to train. We have kept several training sessions, not only for DRMs, but also for the CPR. CPR is the public relation officers, and sensitize them. And for them, way beyond the work, it's the kind of service they are providing to the consumer. That essence has been brought back into last 3 to 4 years. That we are serving the people, and they are the kings. They are the ones who are paying taxes, and henceforth we exist. I think that fundamental line is now appealing it to them. And coming back to trainings, yes, regular modules, understanding of technology, and what are kind of responses which works. So as I shared, in any kind of grievance redressal, even we had some issues earlier. So working with non-railway professionals and asking them to know that on, okay, so simplest of problem. So somebody will tweet that, okay, my toilet is unclean and I want to go it right now. Now when someone is tweeting, someone is into one particular zone. Now when the tweet reaches and somebody is seeing it, the train has moved into another zone. So then there's a catch situation. So we're here now, and the whole conversation is going in open. And everyone is watching it. So DRM Northern Railways is now tagging to DRM Western Railways that, okay, this is the train has moved on to your place. Now it's your responsibility. Now it goes down. So two things we have made it very simple, that there are no complaints. Inside team will work together as the team railways, and that it can be shared. Even if a train is moved from one place to another, or even if there's a problem, everyone will say that yes, I will do it. So that the yes behavior has brought a lot of change. Second, it percolates down. So we have segregated all the queries into, we have put the filters over there: cleanliness, safety. So over there, again, yes, one more automation over there. So we receive almost 3,000 to 4,000 of complaints every day. Out of this,
Given your scale, what is the amount of ORM queries that you receive?
so, and this is just Twitter. and this is just Twitter. So what we do is, and out of those, few of them are sometimes compliments, few of them are just a normal criticism that okay, it was fully loaded, I didn't got a good seat, something like that. So here the automation plays a very important role, that we have to actually filter out what are the actionable tweets, because in one of the another tweet somebody would be facing heart attacks. On some of the another tweet, somebody's purse or somebody's very personal stuff would have been stolen. Or on some another part of the world, somebody would be, an infant would be crying without the baby food. And
Automation works. Sorry, I'm stealing your sentence.
yes, automation works.
Yeah, because this seems very, very, it's a spectrum of grievances and problems that you would face every day. So, do you think automation, how much it helps, or is it more personalized training, or so to call it, the passion that you kind of feed in and inculcate in your team members that sort of helps?
It's a melting point of everything. So apart from the automation stuff and the filtering, so as I said, we have segregated things into, I will give you examples. So like cleanliness, safety, security, mechanical issues. So there is a keyword learning which is continuously going on the back end, where machine keeps learning that okay, what are the keywords, what are the sentence framing, what are the structure, and of course everyone knows about it. So from that it gets filtered. In that we give highest priority to female security and health. So those things popped up at the first. And on the other side, our retention ratio of people who are working into our grievance redressal system is highest. So they have been working here for around 2 years, and I think hardly anyone would have lived today. So people love their job, that okay, they are actually helping people, and it's live. They watch it and people come. So when you offer, so as I said, there has been everyday incidences. So if you offer a help to someone into, so there's a traveler from Western India traveling into Northeast, he don't know how to communicate with people over there. He tweets that my whole luggage is stolen, I don't know what to do now. And then over there someone just appears and brings you back everything. So that's a moment of joy, that's a moment, and for that, so apart from technology, our team, which is trained regularly, and the third, the kind of filtering and automation which works beyond. And sticking back to the question, yes, I think automation works if your machine is right, if your algorithms understand that query. And there are a few challenges. Vernacular tweets are still a challenge, but we are trying to overcome it. Sometimes people write in sarcasm and pun, which are yet to be understood by machines. Henceforth, human is always going to be on the top of the bottom.
Yeah, in fact,
So,
I ask that the thing about given the volume of traffic.
What the basic stuff, or maybe they have a complaint book over there, or where they can register. So someone was asking me just before the session that okay, if I want to do a complaint at the station, what's the easiest method? I said, if you don't have Wi-Fi over there, then please have a book and put your complaint over there. If you don't complain over there, we will not have a chance to improve. So please, if you next time, if any one of you travels, if you are not getting your food on MRP, if you are not getting clean environment, if somebody is asking for a tip, just complain back it to us.
Also, the probability model that you've put. So I've been in a sales job. I travel across the country, many places where there are no flights. So you take a train, and the biggest maths that you're doing when you're booking a ticket, सारी वेट लिस्ट आ रही है, कौन सी टिकट बुक करूं या कौन सी 3-4 बुक करूं. It's quite a core, and that with this probability model, I've used it recently. It really makes it a lot simpler, because otherwise you're just booking multiple tickets with the intention that you'll cancel 4 out of the 5. So that, as a behavior for me, has gone away now.
Apart from in the same kind of problem situations, we have so people booking multiple tickets. To solve that, we come up with an option called Vikalp, wherein a similar train ticket will be almost kind of a repeat, will be booked or will be given as an option if something happens to this train. So that system is already existing. Once when you are on the last page of booking your ticket, you can see an option called Vikalp, wherein you can book a similar a train which is on the similar route. It might be longer or shorter, and you can choose it.
So I think Indian train journeys and railways are nostalgic to most of us in this room because we all have some fond memories. So I think firstly I want to say thank you for this opportunity because it's the first time I'm hearing from anybody in terms of the Indian Railways on how you've transformed customer experience. So I think firstly compliment to you and your team. I think you people are doing a fantastic job in terms of showing incremental improvements, right? And also I think just the scale of operations of doing something like this is humongous, right? And there are multiple initiatives which everyone have spoken about, but I think the most important thing that I feel is communication to customers, right? So I think whether it is through SMS and I think, like several years back, I got the first kind of email update from IRCTC informing consumers about developments, new updates, which I think was very sort of the first kind of, foundational element for effective customer experience, right? First communication. So again, I think great job to you and your team. But I think what I really want to understand is what is the technology that you're using to power this, right? As in like, what are the foundational elements from technology, because from a system standpoint it's huge. So either in terms of design, if you could just call out what are those elements, or in terms of platforms and products. Just curious to know.
So one thing I can say, though, it's open because it's government. So I can say in product we use a product called OneDirect for our customer redressals. So they're good people. They're a young startup, and imagine a government agency encouraging a startup to grow. So I think the whole foundation stone was about the growth and about understanding that yes, okay, we need young brains to excel on it. So I think the first step itself was so correct about getting them on board. And apart from that, so other technology, they're all the same. We're not using any special language when people don't know. It's the same open source language, codes, and machine learning which happens and goes through. It's, I think, the only thing which I think we are doing it different is the kind of humongous scale. I think we have adapted it. As in, I think reading codes are easier than running railways on time every day. So I think people at our place were habituated about it, and they know that okay, with lesser number of rail tracks and more number of trains, the traffic is going to be high. So in similar ways, with lesser number of infrastructure developed across the 60 years and more number of expectations, the problems are going to be high, but we have to resort it.
Zankrut, I have a question here.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so congratulations to you and the railways for all the good work that you're doing there. At some point in time, about 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to interact with the RailTel, which I'm sure you are familiar of. Now we ended up working on an assignment, essentially a video product for something called a railway display network, which is supposed to be putting up screens on about 2,000 railway stations across the country. Supposed to be the largest display network in the world, right? Centrally controlled, and which would give out customer assistance information as well as news updates, as well as some helplines and guides, and of course there is advertising revenue, alongside. Honestly, haven't heard about that ever since.
Okay. I don't exactly know about the project. So I joined this office 1.5 years back once Honorable Minister Suresh Prabhuji left to the another, and I joined with the Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal. So I'm completely unaware about the project. Point two, RailTel is currently focusing on the way, as I said, we have changed the basic ideology about working. That are our basics correct? So first point was, can we provide Wi-Fi and open source free Wi-Fi to all the citizens and all the platforms? And I think we want to do that first. So getting all 8,000 plus platforms connected through Wi-Fi, and I don't know if anyone would have seen the stories like a mother who runs a rickshaw in Kerala. She comes every day near to platform and learns things on her mobile, and then go back at her home and teaches to her kid. And this is ad made by Google, nothing done by us. I can say it openly in this room. Second, coolie, reading every day on platform at his free time and appearing into a civil services exam and passing it out. This is the kind of phenomenal work done by RailTel. I think I'm more proud about this achievements rather than other.